I'll get started. My name is Remy Artiaga. I'm the Executive Director of CUNY Startups at the City University of New York at Baruch College here in the Field Center. And I'm really pleased to present our second annual Ideas to Impact Demo Day. And we have a really wonderful lineup today and a really great set of teams to work with. I was just mentioning a second ago what a change a year makes. The picture here is from the Ideas to Impact Demo Day last year that took place at Baruch College at the Field Center in the fall 2019. And here we are in the fall 2020. So hopefully by the fall 2021, we'll be back to being able to photograph everybody in a room together. So we have a really great set of judges, really outstanding, and we're so fortunate that the judges today took the time from their schedules and their lives to be with us, and we are very appreciative of that. Sarah Leonard from Bull City Ventures. We have Mendy Yang from Soma Capital. Sharvi Badani, VC Associate, and it's Sharvi, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, what's the name of the firm that you work for? It didn't fit on this little card.
AmFam Institute.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it. We have Alex Ferber, a partner at Green Egg Ventures. Jasly Kaur, a venture investor. Paraj Mathur, investor at BIP Capital. And these 6 judges will be doing the judging for today's competition for all 10 teams. So, tell everybody you're here. If you're, tell your friends, they can go to Facebook Live at our URL here, facebook.com/CUNY Startups. Do hashtag Ideas to Impact on your post. We have Twitter. You can find us through CUNY Startups, or on Instagram the same way. We also have a LinkedIn page. And if we always store all the videos and stuff on our CUNY Startups channel on YouTube. If you just do a search for CUNY space startups, so you'll see it come up. Also, I want to recommend to vote for your fan favorite. So not only are the judges voting, but audience has been voting all week. And all you need to do is download the app at pre.vc/download, and you can download either the Android or the iPhone app. And the event code is 3009. And if someone on my team can put that event code in the chat area, and maybe the URL as well, so people can go to it as they look in the chat area. My team, I'm really fortunate. I have a great colleagues, Faith Jaskowiak, the assistant director, and really she's been here just about from the beginning when CUNY Startups over 5 years ago. She's seen all the different iterations of the accelerator, and she really is an outstanding human being, as well as being a great colleague. And then we have 2 new interns that just started this past couple of weeks, Yinmin Huang and Uraj Nawaz. Uraj was actually part of our Ideas to Impact last year in 2019, and she also went through our accelerator, and we're fortunate to have both of them helping us out these days. I wanted to thank Santander. Santander gave out 10 scholarships for students this year, and they're going to do it again for next year. And we're really fortunate to have them as a sponsor. Also, the pre-app people, the little F you see down there is the pre-app logo. And they're just an outstanding company. And Sarbajit is an outstanding founder of that company. We're located within Baruch College and within the Lawrence Field Center for Entrepreneurship. And we're really fortunate to have them. Scott Newbert, who runs the Field Center for Entrepreneurship, and I report to him, and he's a great guy. I've managed to teach entrepreneurship and run different entrepreneurship centers throughout the country. And this is easily the best entrepreneurship center I've had the fortune to work with. Students are amazing. Many people don't know this, but 40% of them are first generation, 40% are immigrant, 80% come from New York City public schools. So when they graduate, they become your neighbors here in the New York City area if you're living. overwhelmingly diverse, 17,000 women in tech students we have at City University of New York. That's bigger than a lot of colleges. And it's a little known fact, but we're really fortunate we have a couple of them as part of our teams today. We couldn't do this without our mentors who volunteer their time, and our executive mentors, Gail, Brian, Jeanette, and Tim have been outstanding, and they've worked with our teams all year long. But we're also fortunate we have a really great, group of mentors, and we approach mentorship a little bit differently, I think, than a lot of programs do. We form mentor teams, so our executive mentors lead a team made up of these mentors, and then this team mentors the different startup teams that we have there. For today, the agenda is going to be, we're going to go through 10 teams, starting with Apply Hub and ending with Unibuddy. Then the judges are going to go to a breakout room and deliberate. And then we'll come back and close the audience voting. So we'll have fan favorite and top investor awards. And then we'll announce the judges' first, second, and third place winners for today. So on to the show, and the first team to come up is going to be Apply Hub.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today, mentors, judges, and Remy. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And without further ado, let's get started. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So if you ever apply to a job online, you know the struggle of having to upload your resume and manually put in all your information again. Hi, everyone. My name is Sheik. I'm a recent grad, and I don't have a full-time job secured just yet. So I've been spending quite a bit of time applying to places, which is rather frustrating. That's why I created Apply Hub. Our service saves users time and stress and helps minimize anxiety when it comes to the job application process. With 3.8 million college students having graduated just this year alone, I know I'm not the only one feeling this frustration. Built to reduce the redundancy and time consumption of job applications, Apply Hub is an AI-powered web platform that automates the job application process and optimizes resumes to increase the chances of landing a job. So what's the problem? In addition to having to upload a resume, then fill out all the information manually again, traditional platforms, while allow job seekers to digitize their resumes, oftentimes sacrifice optimization in the process. And so the resumes get lost in what is known as the applicant tracking system. That's where we come in. Apply Hub is a web app that enables graduates to automate their employment applications by accurately inputting their experience and personal information to job posting sites. With Apply Hub, users can not only apply faster, but also optimize their resumes with more than keyword suggestions by telling their story with our AI-powered advisor and keep track of all their job applications in one place. So what makes us different? Apply Hub is a centralized platform or a one-stop shop for all your job seeking needs, hence the name. Our two proprietary features are automated applying, which is the autofill, and resume optimization, in which our AI-powered advisor will ask targeted questions to users that a career advisor would ask students. And from that, our AI-powered advisor will highlight their experiences that will get users past the applicant tracking system.
This graduating class will be experiencing an unprecedented amount of challenges and obstacles. With COVID-19 drastically changing the job market and student loans knocking on the door, Apply Hub would be in high demand. We are seeking to innovate the application process for 58,000 graduating CUNY seniors, hoping to reach 5% within the first year while cultivating a strong partnership with each career center. Now, many students have expressed their frustration within the application process by posting memes on social media platforms, which explains why 96% of our survey applicants said that they would pay for Apply Hub. Although our competitors offer similar benefits, they fall short within various categories. Traditional brands such as ZipRecruiter, Indeed, and Monster do not offer a centralized place with all of these benefits.
All right, so we're going to start off as a B2C company, and we're going to implement a freemium business model. This means we're going to have a free version and a premium version. Our premium version will cost $8 a month. Our customer lifetime value is $48. How did we come to this number? It's based on the typical amount of months an undergraduate student searches for a full-time offer or a internship, which is 6 months out of the year, further broken down into 6 months in the fall and 6 months in the spring. And that's how we got our customer lifetime value. Our customer acquisition cost is $6, and we found this by researching our pay per click like expenses, because that's where we're going forward for the foreseeable future. For our projections, we have a 5-year forecast. In year one, we project to do around $72,000, and this is based on 3 to 5% of our current CUNY target market, which is around 56,000 students, and we're only aiming for 3 to 5% of that in year one. In year three, we're thinking 5 million because we're aiming for 2.5% of our total addressable market, which is around 4 million people. So we're gonna only aim for 2.5% of that market. In year five, we want to double our growth from year three, and we believe this is possible because of 2 reasons. One is because we feel like we'll have enough exposure by now, because we'll prove our service in the marketplace. And two, more, which is our main reason, is that we're going to venture into B2B practices where we're going to license our service to educational institutions for a set fee.
So why are we the right team for this venture? Being college students ourselves, with 2 of us having just graduated, we deeply understand the frustrations when it comes to the job application process, especially during a pandemic in which some of us are entering the workforce amid a current economic climate is daunting. Our team strongly believes we can help.
Thank you, Apply Hub. The judges are going to be asking questions in an order. Sarah, you have the first question.
Great. Well, congratulations, guys. Great presentation. I would love to know, if you were to raise money today, how would you spend that? Would it be on development, marketing? What would be the use of proceeds?
So if we were to receive funding today, I believe that most of our money would go toward development. We've definitely constructed the idea. We have a nice framework of who we're going to be partnering with, but nothing's going to really happen until we actually get the AOI power system up and running.
Good. Next person to ask a question is Judge is Paraj.
Great work, everyone. Question for me, as you're thinking about, because everybody's applying to jobs and like pretty much everyone needs to apply. So in terms of how you are actually reaching those people, what types of people you want to reach first, or because they're easy to reach or they are willing to pay more, so how are you thinking about how you reach those people and who these people are that you can reach in the short term?
So our target market is CUNY students and graduates. And how we plan to reach those students specifically is, first, reaching out to our career center in Baruch, as well as other CUNYs, and making them aware of our platform so then they can check it out. And what our one of our features is, being a freemium model, we have a free version of our platform, which is the browser extension, where students will be able to apply to jobs in an automated fashion. So when students will be able to utilize this function, they will become more aware and familiar with our platform. And so then they will be more willing to check out our premium version as well.
Next judge to ask a question is Mendy.
Thank you guys for a great presentation. I love HR tech and used to work with an ATS, so definitely understand the problem. I'm curious, how did you guys come up with that $8 price point? How did you go about determining customers' willingness to pay?
So we conducted a survey in which we surveyed 100 students, CUNY graduates and students currently. And then we gave a price range, and that ranged from obviously $0 to I believe it was 15, but that was like our max. And I guess the midpoint was $8. That was the average that it came out to.
Okay. Great job, great questions, judges. We're now going to switch on over to the next team, which is tacmaps. Stephen, you're up, and stop sharing your screen, Apply Hub.
Great job, guys. All right.
Thank
So
you.
can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So my name is Stephen Duke. I'm the founder and CEO of tacmaps, where we turn visual environments into audio. tacmaps is a mobile application that gives freedom and independence to the blind and visually impaired while enabling businesses to reduce risk, increase compliance, and save money. We use codes and image recognition to translate the visual world into audio. Currently, there are 32 million blind and visually impaired Americans without equal access to information. Only 10% read Braille, and most of the solutions we've come up with to help don't involve the blind in the process. The US has created the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, where the brunt of obligation falls on the shoulders of businesses to provide equal access. But these businesses have proven themselves to be unequipped to handle this changing landscape of regulatory requirements and have seen a 520% increase in disability-related lawsuits in the last 10 years. This is costing companies billions. So how do we solve the problem? tacmaps provides a symbiotic environment where the visually impaired and businesses share information. This information can be passed back and forth, and businesses are able to stay ahead of the curve because they are involving the people that these regulations impact the most. For businesses, the company logs onto our website, uploads information. That information is translated into two items, a scannable code and an interactive, accessible website where the information is read aloud to the user. Information could be in the form of directions, where the code pairs with audio-based directions to the nearest emergency exits. It could be prescriptions, so that medications and dosages don't get confused. It could be poison control information, linking you to instructions about what to do in an emergency. For users, it's extraordinarily simple as well. A user chooses an item and scans a code. The information is read aloud to them. They are then able to add and edit information attached to this code. The code becomes a gateway where the visually impaired are now connected to the business. Our blind users could add information that the business would not have thought of and information that other blind users might find useful. We also provide text and image recognition services so that users are able to navigate the world better. And not only can we display information about the 232 million codes in our inventory, we can also provide users with the ability to buy products. 87% of prospective customers interviewed said they would use tacmaps. We have already developed an MVP and are very close to beta testing. We are currently in conversations with Sephora, CVS Pharmacy, and Macy's, and we have already received approval for a pilot study with Lighthouse Guild for the Blind, New York City's largest coordinator for the blind and visually impaired. Our business model is split into three different revenue streams. The first is physical signage for our brick and mortar stores that we create, install, and attach information to, like emergency directions. The second is an integration into the existing software of product manufacturers or companies that need to print their own labels so that they're able to edit and label items using their own tools. The third is an application for our blind users. The majority of our services are free, but we also provide advanced text and image recognition for 99 cents per month. We know we have a huge $33.6 billion marketplace for brick and mortar businesses. Our total market consists of the 5.6 million businesses in the US that are required to be compliant with the ADA. Our addressable market are the 350,000 businesses in New York, but we are targeting the 88,000 businesses in New York City, and that alone is a $528 million opportunity. For labeling, we have a $3.3 billion market that consists of 1.1 million manufacturers and retailers with products that could integrate with our service. Our addressable market are the 58,000 in New York, and our target are the 8,000 in New York City. This is a $24 million opportunity. For the visually impaired, we have a total market size of 383 million, consisting of the 32 million visually impaired and blind in the US. Our addressable market are the 41% of those individuals that use smartphones. Our target market consists of the 418,000 smartphone users in New York. Our competition are pretty decent. Navilens has made progress on navigation for the blind. Envision has allowed for the blind and visually impaired to label items. SuperSense allows its users to see the world in a new way. But none of these products put the control in the hands of the users. And that is why we think our product will provide the value that our users are really looking for. Here's a brief look into our estimated financials over the next 3 years. We expect to break even over the next 6 months. Over the next 3 years, we are targeting 65,000 app users, 231 software integrations, and 263 brick and mortar businesses to join our platform, equating to 2.4 million in annual revenue. My name is Stephen Duke. I'm a computer scientist and a technologist with 8-year startup experience. I'm working with my partner Morgan, who is an operations leader in nonprofit and private sectors. tacmaps is here to make a difference in the world of the blind and visually impaired. We see a clear path forward, and if you'd like to join us on our journey or hear more about us, please contact us.
Thank you, Stephen. The next judge for questioning is Jasleen.
Stephen, that was a really great presentation, so thank you for spending the time on that. My question for you is, what exactly is the business model going to look like for the physical signage piece and the software application piece? Is it going to be licensing, or are you thinking of something different?
So, sorry, could you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So for the application, I'm assuming you're thinking that it's going to be a freemium model where it's a subscription for the users, but for the physical signage and the software application, you're going to be working directly with companies, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, and how are you planning on charging them for your services and for integrating your software into theirs?
Yeah, so there's 2 different revenue streams for that, right? So one would be the physical signage. So everywhere inside a building, they are required, any public building is required to have ADA signage. And so we plan on connecting that signage with a code. And so all of these signs are actually connected within the building. And so what we're doing is we're reducing risk in terms of emergencies, and we're going to charge based on that reduction in risk, which companies are already paying on average about $600 a month for. So that's the market we're after with that.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
Next judge is Sharvi.
Yeah, hi Stephen, thanks so much for your great presentation. A very interesting idea. I'm curious to know that you look like you have a large market on the B2B side. How are you choosing which are your initial customers, and then how do you grow from there? What is sort of the strategy around the go-to-market?
Yeah, this is a great question, and I love this one. So all around the United States, there are basically places like Lighthouse Guild. They coordinate services for the blind, medical services, and things like that. These are hubs for the blind. And so what we're going to target in New York City are the businesses directly around this. So there is businesses within walking distance of these hubs are our first targets. Yep.
The next judge is Alex.
Hey, thanks so much for giving that great presentation. I'm curious as to some of your next hires you'll be looking to bring on board as the company starts scaling.
Yeah, so right now, we think that we can bootstrap this for quite some time. Definitely there's going to be a developer on board to help us with that, and also a regulatory export. Those would be the 2 main that we would see in the foreseeable future.
That's great, thank you. Now we're ready for the next team, Crystal and Bone. You're up next. Stephen, if you can stop sharing. Okay, can you unmute yourself, Janet?
Hello, everyone, and then my camera. There we go. Hi, everyone.
Hi, go ahead.
Okay, so we're Crystal and Bone. Home is in the details, and We pretty much sell home decor items that are not big ticket items, and so that's why our home is in the details. And we are founded by myself, Janet Ika, my sister, Jacqueline Okanola, and Thorn Nugent. I'm sorry, is everyone hearing that noise too?
Yeah, I heard it as
Okay.
well. I'm
I
not
think
sure where it's coming from.
them.
Okay, I'm
Right.
gonna continue. Okay. Crystal and Bone is an AI-powered e-commerce that allows consumers to find home decor items that meet their personal style and values. Our consumers learn how to be their own interior designer and design their space and purchase items all in one place. So our thing is really to kind of curate items that really speak to the consumer's personal style as well as their personal values.
Our problem is that the current online retailers who hold over 68% of the 42.3 billion home furnishings and homeware share in 2019 are too big to go sustainable. Even though there are an increasing demand for sustainable products that align with consumer values year over year, 73% of millennials worldwide, which amounts to 1.3 million globally, are interested in buying sustainable. But they are unable to meet that demand.
Yes, so often convenience is placed over sustainability, and mass home retailers recognize that need. But as Jacqueline mentioned, they are not able to meet that demand because they are kind of too big to go sustainable. So a good example of that would be Walmart. They tried to go sustainable back in 2005, and it just wasn't something that they could maintain because of their brand recognition. So currently, the 1.3 billion millennials who are underserved are looking for somewhere to spend their dollars.
Mm-hmm. And that is where Crystal and Bone steps in. Crystal and Bone will serve the value-based consumer by basically closely aligning with our curated selection with their personal values, by responsibly sourcing and distributing home decor, while also providing an optimal consumer experience that promotes sustainable living long-term. So Crystal and Bone's optimal experience begins with placing the design process in the hands of the consumer. So this is a brief look at what we expect our website to look like, where consumers will be able to view suggested products, place them in a room, and then add them to their cart all in one single click. As we mentioned, there are 82 million millennials. There are 1.3 billion millennials globally, but our overall target is 82 million of them. And 3 million of those millennials live in the New York City area, which is where we are based. And then 476,000 of those millennials is our target market. That number comes from the 26th percentile of the 3 million, which is backed up by research that we found that says that out of the entire market of everybody who wants to shop sustainably, only 26% really are the one that puts their their dollar behind their values.
So the Crystal and Bone competition the Crystal and Bone competition is basically startup companies that are in the same tier as us. We have Kayo, who actually is a marketplace that kind of started on Craigslist. And so they're more person to person, but then they turned that into a website. We have Joybird, which is a little bit more established. They've been around for 11 years. Year and Day just recently launched, but they only sell flatware. And CB2, which we consider as one of our biggest competitors, as well as Joybird. Joybird, who we actually consider as one of our major competitors, closely aligning to some of the things that we plan to provide. They currently do not have the best customer service rating. That's one of the things that we do plan to bring in along with our style and sustainability.
So with what Crystal and Bone brings to the table, we expect 1,200 new customers within the first 6 months, with a 33% of those customers converting to sales. This traction is based off our survey that we did, where we surveyed 50 millennials who said that 61% would be willing to purchase and even pay more for sustainable items. 72% said they would like to receive better customer service, which goes to the point that Janet was just mentioning. 91% will find the AR feature that we've showed you in our solution demo slide to be helpful. And 57% said there are limited decor items to shop in the market today, which is why they spend most of their money on non-sustainable versus what they actually really want, which is sustainable.
So our business model is the drop shipping model. Our average wholesale price per item is about $300, with the biggest item being something like a chair or an end table. Our market premium on that is about 60%. After we have our $10 market acquisition cost, we expect to make a net profit of 30% on that per item. We also expect that the lifetime value of our average consumer will far outweigh our customer acquisition costs, with returning customers yielding a higher average spend per visit as we build brand loyalty. These are a look at our financials, a projection of over 5 years. Our financials show a strong projected revenue increase by 35% year over year as we take more of a stake in the market share. We projected 35% increase based on a lot of the research that we've done about sustainability kind of increasing over the years at a steady pace of about 30 to 35%. We expect that in year 0, we would raise $500K for startup and operation costs. We plan to reinvest about 20% of net profits every year back into the business. And then by year 5, we expect that our revenue will double as we build brand loyalty and become a household name. So this is our team. We're the founding team. I'm Janet Iga. I have over 15 years of experience in fashion, retail, and interior design. Jacqueline Okanola, she is very well versed in marketing and does so for big media like Disney. And Thorn Nugent, she is well versed in retail and public relations as well. So we have a really great command of not only just style and design, but media and marketing. And so that's a lot of what we plan to lead with as we launch Crystal and Bone to make this really successful. Now we're opening the floor up for questions. We also would love for anyone who's interested to help us continue to build on our research by taking our survey. Jacqueline's going to drop that in the chat, and we'd love to hear from you all. We appreciate you in advance for voting for us.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Are we?
Yeah, we're finished.
Sarah, you can go. I'm sorry. I had myself on mute.
Okay. Well, great job, team. My question is about where you're sourcing the home decor from. I think I saw a prior presentation that mentioned artisans, and that made me think it was more one-of-a-kind items like an Etsy type store, but I'd love to learn more about that.
Yeah, so we're actually planning to source a lot of designers. We've already shortlisted about 100 of them from Etsy. And so we are looking towards sort of that kind of one-of-a-kind look, but we do want to keep it in a way that we make sure that it's not too difficult to make, so that there's not that lagging time of like the time the person orders it to the time they receive it. So we do want to keep it local, and we are starting with Etsy, but we do plan to outsource for faire.com. They have wholesalers who also build sustainable products for the home.
Next is Paraj.
Yeah, no, great job on the presentation. Looks super interesting and would definitely be a customer. Curious about, in terms of the millennial population, reaching them and actually, selling them on the mission of sustainability. What's sort of your marketing plan? What channels are you targeting? Is it social media? Is it some other channels? Are you partnering with influencers? How are you thinking about it?
I can answer that. So thank you. We would love to have you as a customer. And basically, a lot of our marketing is going to be like social media based and like slash media based, like from YouTube and Instagram. So I'll speak on the social media first. So we plan to have social media campaigns that run on Instagram and Facebook, and we're gonna basically target our consumers based on their likes and who they view, who they follow, and just have that on there. And then also we plan to partner with influencers on YouTube, because right now in the millennial market, instead of like, yes, we watch Netflix and Hulu and everything, but a lot of it comes from YouTube. And if they're watching their favorite YouTuber say, hey, I got this from Crystal and Bone, and you guys should get it too. There's a code down below. Be sure to shop. I feel like that would really, entice the consumer to want to shop. So that's definitely our go-to market plan.
Okay, thank you. We're going to be moving on to the next team, and that'll be Docket. Paul from Docket.
Let me just share my screen here.
Awesome.
Can you guys see my screen?
It's, no. Yeah, now we can. Great.
All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Paul, and I'm the founder of Docket. And our company motto is Docket while it's fresh, or documented while it's fresh. So we are a web application platform, and our goal as a company and our mission is to help developers, coders, programmers create the best possible technical documentation that they can. So what is the problem really that we're trying to solve? The problem is that software developers, programmers create bad technical documentation, but why do they do that? They do it because they create these documents at the end of their cycle of development, and it's a huge problem. I mean, think back when you were in college and you were taking classes. When was the best time to take notes? During class or after class? So the solution is Docket. And really, our main goal is to have developers create documentation while coding. And the way we plan to do that is by having an intuitive UI and UX experience and agile that would fit into the agile development cycle. And the idea is that we want to have rich media. We want to bring our document to life with videos, pictures, diagrams, screen recordings, and so much more. So here on the left, you see an ugly piece of code. And this is just one small, tiny snippet of millions of lines of something that a developer would have to read to just understand what the rest of the code is about. But on the right is just this one simple example how it could be done with Docket. And with Docket, this snippet of code would better be understood if there was a diagram to explain the concept. But the idea I wanted you to take away is that it's really tedious and unappealing to look at and difficult to read, while with Docket, it's much more simpler and much more pleasant to consume and read this technical documentation. So why would users want to use our product? Well, one, they wouldn't have to learn a whole new way of making technical documentation. They wouldn't have to learn codes. They wouldn't have to learn how to drag and drop or the user interface. And that's really because we're trying to base our trying to base our platform off of Facebook and things that people already know. So everybody knows how to make a Facebook post and everybody knows the news feed, but we want to do it in a reverse chronological order, as you see on the right, where you see the first post and then the subsequent post after that. You can have videos, photos, diagrams, screen recordings. I mean, we can even add natural language processing so that people don't actually have to read anymore. They can just click play, and then it'll read the text for you. So after talking to many developers and product managers in companies like New York Life, Two Sigma, and American Express, they all shared with us that technical documentation is a major problem. A lot of companies are changing softwares and they're updating their past ones, and they're learning that documentation in the past hasn't changed for like 60 years, and it was done very poorly. And now all these companies really, really value technical documentation. and they all shared that they would love to beta test our product. So our overall market is the SaaS development tools market, but our target market really would be, just 5% of our addressable market. And we would want to focus on companies in New York City, tri-state area, specifically in the finance, fintech industry, because a lot of them are migrating from old legacy software like Cobalt and other old softwares to new softwares like AWS and really trying to utilize the cloud. So our competitors do solve some subsets of the problem, but the issue is you would need to use 3 different platforms to just achieve, to barely achieve some of the things that you could with Docket. And this is why bad documentation persists, even though it's important to have good documentation, is because it's too tedious and too difficult to actually make good documentation. I mean, who wants to use 3 different platforms when you could use 1? So we would have a SaaS freemium model with a 30% conversion rate from our free subscription to our monthly paid subscription. And we really do think that our average customer lifespan would be 3 to 5 years, because we've noticed that when people when people in the industry start using a specific tool and a software, they're not going to change using it if they like it, and it's difficult for competitors to come in and copy what you're doing. And these are our financials. We do think that we would break even at the end of the first year with 20,000 paid subscriptions. And 1 subscription is 1 agile team, which is 12 people. And I'm happy to announce that we have started developing our product, and we should have an MVP done within a month to 2 months. Thank you for your time, and I would love to hear some questions.
The next judge to have a question is Mendy.
Thanks so much, Pablo. I thought that was great. My boyfriend's a developer and he complains about this literally all the time. So totally makes sense in terms of the problem. My question is, so in terms of adoption, it feels like you would need to get the whole team on this solution. So will your sales process be more bottoms up, where you're kind of convincing 1 developer to try it at a time, or is it going to be more top down where you kind of get the entire team to adopt at once?
No, that's a great question. I'm not a sales expert, but I do want to say that we would want to start really small. That's why our price point is only $99 per subscription. And we really just want people to try it and get used to using it. And I don't want to make that comparison to Slack, but we kind of want to do it where kind of Slack gave away their platform for free and then try to go to the product managers and the CTO of a company and say, look, everybody in your company is already loving our product. Here's many more features, and we're trying to upsell them on that.
The next judge for a question is Jesseline.
Thanks, Pablo. That was really great. And my question for you right now is, with fundraising, where do you expect to use the proceeds at this point?
So the 3 of us, the 3 people on our team, including me, we're all developers, and we do have the skills to develop it ourselves. What I think we would need most is a marketing person and a salesperson. So depending on how much funding we get, we would get 2. If not, we would try to get 2 for 1. To do both. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
And next up is Sharvi. You have the next question.
Yeah, hi, Pablo. This is great. Thanks so much for your presentation. I'm curious to know that in terms of sales and marketing, are there any behavioral changes you would need a user or a developer to undertake and start using such a product? And how do you see yourself marketing those changes?
From my experience, when I develop, I take small notes, and so do many other developers. But the idea is, instead of putting those notes into like a notepad or a Word document, we want them to put it into Docket right away. So it's right there and then. And they could later delete it if they don't need it. But really, the behavior change would be, it wouldn't be much. It would be very simple for them to just integrate this into their product. Mostly because when I came up with this idea, I was facing this same problem, and I just wanted something like this to exist on the market. Thank you.
That's a great job, Paul. Next up is Al Hunter. If you can stop your sharing, Paul, and Luis or Mariama at Al Hunter.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Luis, and I am the co-founder of Al Hunter, where we're changing the way people shop. Al Hunter is a mobile application that allows customers to find nearby stores, see spaces on low count, see specials on discounts, and locate items without having to step into the store physically. As a former Whole Foods employee, I saw the struggles that grocery shoppers face when trying to find products inside the stores. Sometimes it's hard for them to find those products without having to go in there physically. Grocery shoppers don't know what items are available or on sale, and they don't know what stores nearby them have the products that they're looking for. With our mobile applications, users will be able to locate stores and find items in record time. They'll be able to keep an inventory list of their fridge and pantry, and they'll also be able to keep a digital shopping list of the items that they bought. We are targeting 1,500 downloads with 200 active users within our first quarter. We're also looking at medium-sized grocery stores in the New York City area, and we're open to work with independent stores through partnerships and contracts. There is a big market for this application. Currently, there are more than 41,000 supermarkets nationwide. In New York State, there are currently more than 10,000. And out of those, we're targeting 200 of those within our first quarter. Our business model consists of advertisement and a premium subscription. With our advertisement, we will be able to showcase our products. We'll be able to show the coupon incentives from the different companies, and we'll also be able to help them with their product placement. With our premium subscription models, users will only pay $1.99 a month, and they'll be able to have access to all of the features. We will also work with independent stores, and we will charge them $1,500 a month. Our aim as a company is the payment frustration that comes with grocery shopping by bridging the gap between the everyday grocery shopping and technology. Our team consists of Mariama and myself as the CEO. I'd like to thank the CUNY Startup team for giving us the opportunity to work on this project, even though we started halfway through the program. I'd also like to thank our mentors for their incredible help. This is where we're able to get our data from in case you would want to take a look yourself. And I'm going to open it up for questions now.
Good job, Luis. Next up would be Alex.
Hey, thanks so much for that pitch, Luis. How are you going to get the inventory into your platform? Are you plugging into the inventory management system of these markets, or just curious how you're getting that?
Well, we're thinking about connecting it to the digital list. So once they add the items into the list, and once they shop, then that's going to go directly to the inventory list. And we're thinking about using the cloud to host that.
That's good. Next up is Sarah.
Great job, team. Quick question on how you are planning to acquire the users, the shoppers. How are they finding out about your app?
We will certainly, just walk into the stores and try to, just introduce them the app. We'll also do some marketing using social media and the different platforms.
Okay, thank you, Luis. And just wanted the judges know this because I mentioned to them before the event. There were a couple of teams that didn't make it through the thing, and they broke up. And two of those members, both Luis and Mariama, came together in half the time, and they wanted to present today. And I think they really did a great job. So thank you, Luis, for doing that. Next up is going to be Silto. So if you could stop your share.
All right. Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right. Are we ready? Cool. So guys, today we're going to present to you about Silto and why it's better personal fitness for everyone. So here at Silto, we are creating fitness garments that will act as a personal trainer, and we are accomplishing this by embedding fabric with electrochemical sensors. Our sensors and our fitness app will work together to interact with you, and as time progresses, it will correct you for your form, effectiveness, and motivation. And due to the data we're receiving, we'll make sure that it's the workouts are specifically crafted to you. On your right side, you can see our app. It's one of our models that we're working with and obviously progressing. And it will work with our apparel that's on the left. It's a sketch design. And as you can see, there's different stretches depending on the body part, our hexagram e-fabrics, as well as our branded sensors, depending on what joint area the sensors are being placed. The reason our team and us really pushed forward during this project was because we saw there's three main issues in the fitness industry. One of them was consistent workout injuries. People were doing workouts that really wasn't right for their body type, causing them to get hurt and injured. Two, very poor workout guidance. Doing exercises that wasn't very result driven to their fitness goals. And personal training comes with a very pretty penny, but it is the best and effective way for your for fitness. And Soto actually solves all these areas. You get that personal trainer interaction and communication due to the sensors in the app working together. It's also a safe fitness plan and workout. So making sure that our data that we're collecting from you guys really makes and crafts that workout specifically for what you're trying to achieve. And lastly, the convenience and the cost-effective, efficient. So because the apparel you can wear anytime, anywhere, so it can be used at home due to COVID reasons, or to the gym, and even extended to sports and other types of fitness activities. Also cost efficient. You are getting the same kind of structure as a personal trainer, but with a lower cost, but yet more result driven due to the data, once again. And our market research really showcased positively. We surveyed around 100 active fitness individuals, and the results were phenomenal. 81% was very into trying new fitness technologies. 75% was interested in smart workout apparel, and another 75 also into looking for personal fitness programs.
The US fitness industry is worth over $36 billion. And our overall market has about 72 million clients, and this includes anybody who actively works out, is a gym member, or a fitness club member. And our addressable market has over 65 million clients, and this includes anybody who works out with wearables that track their fitness progress. Our target market is mostly an emerging market, and this has over 9 million clients and includes anybody who works out with smart fitness apparels. Soto is also trying to break into the fashion industry by attending fashion events such as trunk shows and fashion weeks. Soto is a personalized fitness leader, and we're the top player in our market. As you can see, we do have competitors, but Soto has the advantage in data collection, monitoring, workout guidance, and sensoring.
Thank you, Timit. Now go over our business model. There are really two parts to our business model. The first being the $195 legging embedded with our data collecting sensor technology. And the second being our app subscription plan, which averaged to around $75 per month per user. With those pricing, our projected sales for the pants would be around $1,755 million and the app to be $8,100 million at the end of year 5, which brings our projected total gross revenue to about $9,855 million at the end of year 5. With that, we're seeking for $150K to help us develop the wearable prototype, which we hope to finish in the coming 10 months to a year. And that will also cover our startup costs, including marketing, technology, and supply fee.
Our team consists of 3 CUNY students: Sylvia, who is a CEO, Helen, who is a CFO, and me, who is a COO.
Thank you, everybody, and we welcome any questions you may have. You can also reach us through our social media, which is @SotoFitness, all across Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter.
Great job, team. Next judge up is Paraj.
Yeah, no, great work. First of all, great presentation. Thanks for that. Curious about, the personal fitness training that you're providing in addition to the wearable. How much are those personal trainers getting paid, and how is the sort of like the cost, how much of the money that you're making on it, how much of that passes through to the trainer?
So that's, sorry if we didn't make that clear, but the apparel is a personal trainer. What we're trying to also do is like reach the gap of like, if like data needs to be analyzed, or if there's any kind of like, I guess like feedback from them, we will have personal trainers as our communication and customer staff, because they are like the ones who are knowledgeable about it. But the apparel itself is a personal trainer due to the sensors and like how it can reach a performance wise.
Next up is Mendy.
Thanks, guys. Really great presentation. Love the fitness space. My question is with kind of various facets of competition, I think you did a great job outlining some of the other providers. But in terms of, are you kind of planning to double down on more of the wearables angle? And if so, what do you think about kind of like Apple and maybe Fitbit and all the other providers in that space sort of kind of encroaching overall? And then, or is it kind of to provide more engaging content on kind of the actual personal training side? Would love to hear, where you kind of plan to focus and what the first point of launch would be.
Yeah, so I can answer this as well. Our competitors, they are also in smart apparel. Obviously, like you mentioned, like there can be other those big brands, but our focus mostly on form and effectiveness. A lot of our other competitors, they're mostly looking at like how fast you're going, your heart rate, or if your muscle working. But those aspects, I mean, like I've been working in the fitness industry for so long, and just because you're sweating a lot does not mean you're working out. It just means that it's hot and you're just moving a lot. But this will actually see like, hey, I'm doing a squat and I'm actually supposed to be doing a little bit more lower. Our apparel can tell you that. And since we're launching in that aspect, and this can obviously be going into other measures such as professional sports and other fitness studios, because there's always a new fitness studio coming out in New York. That can be a focus point as well, where I feel like if we have that first advantage, once other competitors come into this field, it would be a little bit, I guess we'll kind of rise higher.
Okay, great job, team. Next up is going to be Project Get Back on Your Feet. Project Get Back on Your Feet.
Yes, just 1 second. Let me just share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for everyone that's attending, to judges and to all our mentors. And if we're good to go, I'll start now. Okay. So hi, everyone. My name is Zam Nasser, and I'm the co-founder of Project Get Back on Your Feet. We are a nonprofit that aims to provide accessible health resources and training to low-income communities across Long Island and the greater New York City area. Currently, there are more than 40% of the U.S. population, approximately 133 million people, are affected by chronic disease. In low-income and homeless communities, in particular communities of color, this burden is exacerbated due to existing stressors such as financial burden, geographic isolation, inadequate access to resources, housing, and food insecurity, which all negatively contribute to their mental and physical well-being. As you can see on the picture on the left, the closest gym to the town of Roosevelt, which is a low-income community primarily composed of Black and Latinx community members, is in Baldwin, the next town over. A stark difference is observed in a neighboring town, Merrick, which is a predominantly affluent and white neighborhood that has an abundance of resources available. These two maps really show you the striking disparities that exist from community to community and their accessibility to basic resources. There has been a shift at the federal level to strategically target low-income communities across the nation. However, education on healthy eating is not enough to solve this problem adequately. Lifestyle changes, such as exercise, are critical to maximizing the impact of these healthcare programs, which is where our solution comes in. By providing accessibility to resources at no cost to the individual, we offer our community fitness workshops and nutritional education. We do this by partnering with our local community organizations to provide post-workout meals and education, along with utilizing our community partnerships to run events at local parks and indoor facilities. We also use a cargo van as a mobile fitness center to transfer equipment and provide on-site health screenings and services. As you can see from this little snippet, this is our first event where we have really come so far since our idea formation back in May, where we've now started running our events along with forming strategic partnerships with key policymakers and our nonprofit partner on Long Island. And most importantly, we were able to conduct over 250 customer interviews across Hempstead, Roosevelt, and Uniondale to understand if our product would be a viable solution to the communities we're going to. And as we spoke to all these potential customers and clients that we spoke to, they really defined our need, which was access to a consistent and easily accessible health resource, which is defined through nutritional education, training, and access to gym equipment. We've identified our overall market as all Americans who are living in poverty, which accounts for 34 million people, with our addressable market being all New York residents living in poverty, and as our goal for expansion. Our target market is the Long Island region that has approximately 186,000 people living in poverty. Currently, we have no direct competition as we've identified the CrossFit Scholarship Program and Gym Guys as our indirect competition. Gym Guys has a similar model to us, but is for profit, whereas the CrossFit Scholarship Program, despite having no cost, is very limited in its availability. Our model is based on 5 components: donations, sponsorships, contracts, state grants, and federal funding. The source of revenue will be through school-based contracts through the Syosset and Hempstead school districts, an after-school program with our nonprofit partner, and through private donations that we raise. We are currently applying to be sponsored by GNC and have a sponsorship with Empire Nutrition, as they currently provide our meals, water, and granola bars at all our events. As this chart shows, the increase in total revenue and net profit is justified through an expansion of our model into other school districts. To break that down further, our first year, we will have 2 school district contracts at $15,000 each, along with an after-school program that will generate revenue to cover our operations and private donations that we raise. This graph shows the potential impact we have over the next 5 years in terms of the possible people we can impact as we conduct more events and generate more revenue. And just a little introduction to our team. I am a recent graduate from Hofstra University, along with having an interest in public health, with my co-founder being a current medical and MPH student, and he runs our events along with our fitness trainers that we have coming in, and has his interest in fitness and public health. And just to reiterate, we aren't reinventing the wheel. It's simple. We're trying to drive the wheel to these communities and provide them access to the resources they need to empower individuals to be on track for maintaining as healthy of a life as possible. Thank you.
Great job. Next up is Jasleen.
Thanks, Zainab. I'm really excited by the idea of focusing on an underserved market. And I'm also originally from Long Island. That's where I grew up. So,
oh, really?
My question for you is, a project like this, or work like this, requires pretty high CapEx, which means making sure that you have equipment, trying to see if you have facilities. How do you sort of imagine your spend being used on CapEx? Will you be hosting at schools? These type of events, or in public parks, or are you going to have a facility dedicated in various neighborhoods?
Sure, that's a great question. In terms of equipment, just to touch upon that, I don't know if you were able to catch our video, but we actually had like no equipment that we use at our events, because we're trying to focus on a model that is called functional fitness. It's similar to CrossFit, where we rely on no equipment and we really rely on body weights and body movements to run a fun and engaging workout. So that really minimizes our costs there. And we're trying to partner with local community organizations and school districts so we can run programs at their indoor facilities at the school, and with community organizations using their spaces within the towns we're going into to use those spaces as it gets colder. And for the warmer weather, we've been going into community parks and running our events.
Sharvi, you're up next.
Yeah, thanks, Zainab. That was fantastic and great to hear your focus and your work. I'm curious to know that, given that you're so focused on the impact, which is excellent, but how do you see yourself? What are the metrics you're looking to collect over the long term that show that this program is, its efficacy, and how do you see yourself collecting that data?
Sure. So Currently at all our events, what we do is we have a pre and a post test. So when we have people sign up to sign their waivers and along with signing in into our sheets, we collect data through a survey that we have in English and Spanish currently. And we hand that out and we help people fill it out to collect that data before the workout and after the workout as well. So we have some metrics in terms of the goal is to have people coming back as we go into these communities consistently. So we're collecting people data at a consistent level and being able to track that down as we have hopefully the same people coming again and again and collecting that data to see what impact that has had over time.
Great job, team. Next team up is Ermos. Ermos is the next team up. Ermos.
Hey, are you seeing the right screen? Hello?
Yes, I can see your screen.
The proper one?
I can see the main screen. It's yes.
You see the deck?
I see the deck.
Okay, then we're gonna get started. We are Ermos. Makes things that matter with living matter happen faster because living matters. And we're in the business of project-based education, creating bio-based power systems for use in the home, lab, or classroom. So MESS, what's that? All right, here's the mission. We need to close the loop on carbon emissions. Our economy as it is now is totally changing, as we all have seen. We're going from a linear, which is traditional and what everybody's been most notably investing in, into a closed loop, meaning that not carbon neutral, carbon negative actually. And in the middle of achieving all this is an amazing method called microbial electrochemical systems. And that is the building block for this economy that we need to live sustainably in. And what's the big problem and why now? Well,
the problem is that we are on a deadline and only have about 7 years before irreversible climate catastrophe. And we're tackling this issue by focusing on the issue with education first, where climate change isn't taught primarily because teachers don't see how it all relates.
So Ermos is a suite of products and services. It's a holistic template that centers interdisciplinary education, hands-on experience, and collaboration across all levels. We educate on the fundamentals of new and innovative carbon mitigating tech and provide the tools to build and apply it to everyday applications. These are a selection of our products and services. This includes the MESS Kit, a plug-and-play system that allows users to build their own MESS, which is simply a collection of energy-generating, carbon-capturing microbes and conductive clean material. Ermos provides the best practices by making clean technology affordable and accessible to take us into the next generation.
so we've made excellent progress that gave us all the insight needed for product, how to build it, and what our strategy is, and what we need to move into our next phase, which is capturing our first addressable market, which we'll get into. What we've established so far is having a middle school pilot at Cornelia Connolly Center in Lower East Side for low-income girls, provisional patent on our new tech university partnerships, and a suite of functional prototypes. So the market is, well, we are a technology company, a green technology company, first and foremost, education. And that is the DIY STEAM education kits, over $20 billion. But that's hard to achieve. And we're all about circular economies, community resilience, localization. In New York City, we have over 1 million middle school and high school students and are looking to initially capture that so we can have all these PS students and beyond building out their clean energy generating systems. Next up is the business model.
So we have a few options or several options to generate revenue. This is a way to prove that we can make sustainable high growth businesses built on a circular economy. We sell our MESS kits and configurations to commercial operations, learners, and educators, and have a marketplace where they can commercialize and share ideas. Our kits are affordably priced at $24 with add-ons and subscriptions for building bigger and better MESS. We also have a freemium online platform for general audiences with a $2 per month subscription for MESS makers.
And we are the only company compared to our competitors that teaches theory as well as applying real-world practices. Our products are unique in their ability to absorb carbon emissions, generate clean electricity, and are sustainably sourced.
And so to realize this vision of bringing mess to the masses, doing our best to save what little area we can of our planet, be a bit of work and just a bit of revenue, we wanted to establish first a 2,000 unit run, which would cost us about $10 per unit. And we are looking about 60% profit margin, especially once something that we can increase once we establish a really streamlined manufacturing method that then will allow us to decentralize and scale up our operations. And we are the team to do this. I've already founded 2 venture-backed revenue-generating companies in digital health and micromobility, and have a great team of co-founders and advisors in education, science, and engineering that will help us get this ball rolling towards circular economies. And so what we ask of you, support to actually fund this continuing mission, this enterprise, the resources we need to go full speed with this, or whomever in your network, interested about it, sharing this information for more people, which we don't have much of a social presence yet. And finally, caring. As investors, what I ask of you real quick is to be looking at how can you make your portfolio carbon negative? How are you going to be investing in parts of the solution, not just middle ground technology that is trying to mitigate, but actually creating the protection we need for our next generation and giving them those tools. And look forward to talking more and hearing your questions. Thanks so much.
Great job, Sam. The next up is Alex.
Hey team, thanks so much for running through that. Obviously a very important problem. It seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that your beachhead market to get this product into is schools and into educators. So I was wondering how you plan to do that. Like, are you speaking to the administrators of the school? Are you selling directly to specific teachers and then getting into the school that way? So just wanted to get your thoughts around that.
Yeah, great question. So we're starting with an extracurricular optional pilot program to validate the interest in the idea, which is going great. And the way we see it working is sure going up through the administration, but there's actually something called the Next Generation Learning Standards for New York State that we are aligning our curriculums with, and then can lobby effectively on that front. So we have our ERMOS program as a part of this Next Generation Learning Standard. Alternatively, there's also the extracurricular programs in different organizations, so you can bypass the red lines and tape and all the sales cycles for the school administration. And then there's the route of going just direct to consumer for the parents and the students themselves, kind of like Arduino, but for the bioeconomy. And that's where I think that we'll need to feel that out. But the most promising methods, I think, are how do we do it as an add-on extracurricular, and how do we also go through other channels beyond just the school system while adhering to the actual new standards that are at play.
Excellent. Sarah, you're up next.
Sure, great job, team. You mentioned doing a pilot with a middle school, and I would love to know how's that going? What have you learned so far?
Yeah, so there's 13 girls out of about 100. It's a small school who signed up for it. And it's going well. What we really learned is that they don't care. They really get excited about historical context of what we're teaching them and a lot of the philosophy behind it, as well as actually building something. And so at first we were being very theoretical and showing them how all these things operate, and then introduce them to a certain set of materials and microbes and like how to upcycle their waste. And now they're really excited. And what we're putting together is making algae iPhone cases with them. And so we're definitely going to need to learn how to make the process more engaging and better, and for then other educators to be able to take and run with, which they can, because this is a kind of thing where you learn it, you can teach it, especially if you're a middle school science teacher. And so we'll be giving them our first run of our mess kits in a few weeks once we get all the supplies together. And that's when real time will tell how easy it is for them to assemble these things and how enjoyable it is. But we have a good reason to be optimistic that these girls are going to be the MacGyvers of the new millennium. So.
Thanks, Sam. Next team up is Connector. If you can stop your share, Sam. And Connector is next.
Can everyone see okay?
Yes, no problem.
All right. Hello, Ideas to Impact community. We are Connectern.
Connectern is a website platform that focuses on high school students to help them find internships. Typically in the $10.3 billion online recruitment industry, high school students are underrepresented and they struggle to find internships that are right for them. And they look through a hodgepodge of inadequate resources. Hence, we would like to be the one centralized platform that caters to their criteria.
The problem we are trying to solve is the disconnection between students and organizations. So students have trouble finding internship opportunities that align with their area of interest, and organizations are struggling to find motivated youth to help propel their organizations forward. We must be the bridge between these two groups in order to tap into the potential of their connection.
As I mentioned, high school students have to try and find internships through a jumble of inadequate resources, which include career finder websites, word of mouth, and school posting and flyers. Career finder sites are indeed focused on adults, and very few listings apply to high school students. Oftentimes, these listings are poorly organized, confusing, and don't match their interests, and very few. Word of mouth is also a flawed resource because it is not accessible to everyone, and it may not provide accurate information for the internship because the student has to rely on the memory of the sharer. School postings, on the other hand, either on school websites or via flyers, tend to be random and are not regularly updated due to the school's busy nature. Connectern is the solution to all these problems, the one website that connects motivated students to organizations. Through a centralized platform, students are provided opportunities in their area of interest, and employers are granted access to the young talent that they need to grow their business.
Our solution enables organizations to find committed interns who are in their area of interest that will be able to change and grow their business to the places that they wish to go. It also will allow for high schoolers to search through opportunities that align with their interests, which allow them and enable them to gain experience in ways that allows them to look more desirable for colleges and for their post-high school plans. We are the matchmaker between these two groups, which brings together a connection that could change the world. Over the course of the past month or so, we've distributed surveys. Crystal is actually like a professional survey giver, so it was like really impressive to watch that. But we found out that 98% of students said that they would use Connectern, as 66% of those students are dissatisfied with their current solutions of finding internships.
Here are our overall addressable and target markets from a student or organization perspective. As you can see, our general market is fairly expansive, but we'd like to highlight a more targetable market. On the student side, our target market is the 962,000 New York City high school students who said they're interested in finding internships. On our organization side, our target market is the 61,000 businesses in Brooklyn. Our main competitors are career finding sites like Chegg with the site internships.com, WayUp with internmatch.com, and Glassdoor. Connectern is the only platform that has efficient searches, is high school student focused, has a pay-per-hire pricing model, and affordable add-ons. To note, unlike our competitors, employers don't have to pay per click and pay for the service if they don't find an intern. However, one feature that our competitors don't is a student scheduled viewer.
So our business model is three-pronged. We have three main sources of revenue. We have a pay-per-hire, a subscription, and event posting. For our pay-per-hire, our projected gross profit is $94 per organization per year. Our subscription is projected to be $100 per organization per month in gross profit, and our event postings will turn $10 per organization per event. Here's the breakdown of our financials. The purple is our total revenue, the blue is our total expenses, and the pink is our net income after taxes over the next 5 years. We have a lifetime value of $411 and a projected customer acquisition cost of $56. Moving forward, we ask for $50,000 to help propel our company. 40,000 of that being for our marketing strategy, and the other 10 for smaller business expenses like our website creation, which will be $10,000.
So this is our connecting team. I'm Crystal Jean Silva, the CEO. We have Hajan Duyaboya, our CMO, Lena Critter Morgan, our CEO, and my fellow presenter, Natalia Sandor, who's our CFO. So when you're ready to get connected, use Connectern, and please contact us if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you.
Great job, guys. Paraj, you're up next.
Yes, first of all, great job, everyone. Great presentation and definitely a super interesting problem that's growing really fast. Curious about, in this space, it's very much a chicken and egg problem, right? Like people want to come onto the platform if these jobs already exist, and employers want to come onto the platform if these students already exist. So how are you thinking about solving this problem in terms of who you bring onto the platform first? And then the second part of that question is, what's sort of your strategy to actually get employers on, considering, they have so many different platforms that they want to get onto, like LinkedIn, Glassdoor, that are already part of their workflow. How do you convince them to just add a new platform, which, most HR employees are just overtaxed already?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the biggest draws about our platform is that it's only students, and because no other site or very few sites just target like finding students and interns, right? But this platform is made to find interns, and especially like very motivated students who are looking for work. And our layout is very simple for employers to gaze upon and find interns. And it is very student friendly because it's made by students. So we know what students want. And having done a lot of internships myself, I've spoken to a lot of companies, and I have a knowledge about what they look for in interns and what they look for in different platforms. So that's what I feel sets us apart from our competitors.
I can hop on.
Mindy, you're up next.
Oh, yep. Yeah, one other question sort of related to that. What types of companies do you think are kind of the most likely to be in your target base in terms of employers? I think, speaking for myself, I wasn't really thinking of an internship back in high school, and I think it's really interesting that you're targeting, this market as opposed to college. So I'm wondering, have you kind of identified the ideal customer? Is it a particular size or industry? Curious to hear more about that.
Natalia, I know you want to respond to the last question.
Yeah, I can take that one. I think we're open-minded. I think everyone can benefit from this, but particularly I think there's a good opportunity here for technology companies, more specifically because people like to work on projects earlier on for the most part. But I also think that there's an opportunity for an accounting firm to hop on here if someone knows that they're really passionate about this and they want to check it out. This really is helping solve the issue of nepotism, because a lot of times younger people who are trying to get experience in a field just get put on because they're somebody's nephew or something like that. So it's avoiding that and allowing for somebody to choose what they want to go into earlier on, so that they're doing something they're interested in and providing value for that organization. And it's also a great opportunity for somebody to do something that's unpaid earlier on, so that that's another value proposition from an organization perspective. If they're going to be able to get a unpaid intern to do something that they're really passionate about. So it provides the student with experience prior to college, which is a huge draw for them. And then it also provides opportunity for the organization to get some benefit from that too.
Great job, guys. The next team up is Unibuddy, and they'll be closing out the competition phase of this. So Unibuddy's next. If you can stop your share, Natalia. Okay, and then Unibuddy.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. We are Unibuddy, a web and mobile app that seeks to make your college life easier. As the global growth rate of students pursuing a higher education increases by 4.2% per year, there's an even greater need for Unibuddy. Unibuddy is a web and mobile app that allows commuter college students to connect, engage, and find resources they need all in one place. It's the app that puts your college campus online and on your time. The problem is that commuter college students lack social and academic engagement opportunities. According to our research and shared personal experiences, we found that commuter college students struggle to interact with others because of the time they spend commuting, working multiple jobs, and having no sense of obligation to stay on campus and connect with other students because of their commute. And this is a reality for 16.8 million commuter students throughout the nation. Universities have inefficient platforms that fail to provide quality experiences for their students. And with nowhere to go, student groups are being scattered across different social media applications. To solve this, UniBuddy is a social platform that helps commuter college students build communities where they can connect with classmates, join groups, and share resources. Students can use the marketplace where they can save money by buying or selling textbooks and other college essentials. And with our Ask Questions feature, they can also post homework problems or discussions for the community to answer. In addition, in order to keep students engaged socially and academically, like universities should be doing, we will incentivize students by gamifying their experience and reward them for their engagement when they do things such as attend events, shop at local businesses, join study groups, or answer homework problems on our platform. Students will then accumulate points, which they could then redeem for prizes. We have implemented these features on our website prototype as shown here. This is our dashboard page, this is our marketplace, this is our groups page, and this is the homework and discussions page. And now Madison will speak about the market size.
Thanks, Anastasia. Our target market is commuter college students within the CUNY system, which makes up about 98% of the student body. We have plans to expand to an addressable market of 4.7 million commuter college students in the top 10 US cities. And eventually, we plan to reach 16.8 million commuter college students throughout the nation. Our goal is to attain 10,000 signups with 5,000 active users per month within the first school year. Already, within the second month of launching our website prototype, we received 586 website visitors and over 2,000 Instagram impressions. Currently, there are a limited number of applications designed for college students to connect within their school. The ones that do exist, like Facebook Campus, CUNY Navigate, Discord, and Dive, all fail to provide an engaging and worthwhile experience for students. What makes UniBuddy different is that we gamify the experience while addressing students' concerns all in one centralized platform. So we have 3 business strategies to bring in revenue and keep our services free for students. Our first business strategy is through sales in our marketplace. We would be getting 15% commission on each item sold, and we project an average revenue of $4.50 per item sold. Our second strategy is through UniPerks. We will be charging a 10% commission per sale or sign up to affiliated partners for placing deals, coupons, and subscriptions on our website. If no sale is completed, but the user still clicks on the ad, they will be charged 50 cents per click. And lastly, we will be offering a tutoring feature where students can earn a little bit of extra cash by offering their own tutoring sessions on our site. We would be receiving 10% commission per session, bringing in $2.50 in revenue per hourly tutoring session. Using our business model, we expect to break even in year 2 with over 300,000 customers. Our profit margins would increase throughout our first 5 years. By year 5, we expect to make $408 million, a great increase from year 1's revenue of $1.9 million. So the team behind UniBuddy consists of members from diverse academic backgrounds, ranging from business, tech, and the creative arts. Jorge as our CEO, Evelyn as our market researcher, myself as our social media manager, and Diana as our software engineer, and Anastasia as our product designer. Anastasia, did you move the slides? Okay, thanks. With all this in consideration, we are asking for $500,000 in funds to continue developing our web and mobile app, releasing a beta, hiring key staff, as well as marketing our platform. We plan to allocate $150,000 for product development, $100,000 for a marketing campaign, and $250,000 for hiring new staff. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We are UniBuddy, built by and for college students. Feel free to check out our Instagram and also scan the QR code for our landing page.
All right, great job, guys. Jasleen, you're up next.
Hi guys, that was really great and very interesting product. I do think that that problem really does exist for commuter students, but I do think your market expands from outside of the commuters and fully into full-time students that are living on campuses as well. One of the questions that I had for you is your go-to-market strategy. How are you thinking about launching this per school? Do you need sign-off from universities? Or is this something that you can launch on your own and brand it in a way that that universities don't really need to sign off on their own portals?
Hi there, I'm taking over the question and thank you for asking. Well, we obviously hope to partner with schools. That's our goal, with schools and student governments, which is the most important because this is serving the student body in colleges. So we do want to make sure that we have this connection, always stay connected with the institutions and offer them a way to connect with us in the platform. But we also want to market to students themselves. We don't want them to feel like it's a blackboard, like what CUNY uses. It's just an academic thing. This is something you can go out there. It's online in your campus and off campus application that you can have throughout your 4 years of college experience. So I think being connected with the universities that the students are going to, and also addressing the other students that are not part of the system as well.
Great, thank you.
Next up is Charvi.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's really interesting and definitely useful as I think of my experience here at Columbia. I'm curious to know, in terms of as you scale and grow, what are schools you're looking at and why are you choosing the schools you would?
Thank you for asking. So we're starting, our main target right now is CUNY. CUNY has about 274,000 students and 98% of them are commuter students. So there's a huge potential to start, and we are, our team is made up of CUNY students. So we have the experience, we're living this problem. So we have friends, family, our brothers and sisters that's going as well. So it's a big market, about 300,000 students. As we grow, we hope to get into more local New York City students like NYU, more of Pace University, and then grow into SUNY. So that's about 1 million. And as we grow as well, we're gonna start going to more the top 10 cities, which is about 4.7 million potential commuter students.
Alex, you're up next.
Thanks for that presentation. I'm curious, given everything going on with coronavirus, there's been so many tools that have been built that connect people in unique ways. So I'm curious whether you plan on building all the features of this product in-house, or if you've looked into maybe partnering with any other products, for example, Zoom that we're on right now, to bring your product to market.
I feel like the most effective way to deliver this platform will be to create in-house, but as we go, including our prototype, which is functional, we do have Zoom in the student groups. So people who organize the groups, people who are leaders of events can actually create Zoom meetings on our website. So I think it's, as we grow, we're going to be partnering with a lot of people, but also in terms of development, we want to create something that we are in control, that we are able to, if it's about chat, we want to implement some chat functions. We would like to have Messenger to start, but we will want to be in control over how this works. A lot of concerns in privacy and logistics in terms of that.
Great job, guys, and great job, judges. That was the last team to present. And what we're going to do now is we are going to get the judges into a breakout room. Let's see. All right, it's coming up. We get the confetti. See, it's coming up, confetti. All right. Okay, third place finish is Supply Hub. Can I get Apply Hub up? Hold on a second. I think I got to allow you to all unmute yourself. 1 second. Unmute themselves. Okay, so you can all unmute yourselves now and come online. I'd like to see Apply Hub. Where's the Apply Hub team?
Right here.
All right, you got third. Fan favorite, come on. Where's the energy? Where's the power? Come on. All right, number 2 is Unibuddy. Let's get Unibuddy up here. Where's Unibuddy? Yay, that's it. That's it. And number one, Docket, Paul. Let's see your beautiful face, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Way to go. Favorite number one, Docket. Congrats.
Thanks.
All right. And then let's see who the top investor was. Docket, let's see, top investor, pre-investors. Sog was number one. And then Sylvia Schemate, number two, and Key Heha, number three. All right, so anyway, so great job. Now I'm going to announce the third place finisher in the judges voting. Third place is Docket, Paul. Coming up again, my friend. There you go, congrats, you placed in both.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good job, really. Congrats. All right, second place finish is Project Get Back on Your Feet. Project Get Back on Your Feet. Where are you guys? Zainab? Are you there? Zainab? Come on. Come on, Zainab, we're giving you one more chance.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you got number two.
Oh my God, that's
Second.
great. Thank you so much.
Great
That's
job.
so exciting.
Oh, congrats. That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. And then number one by the judges voting is tacmaps. Tacmaps. Stephen. Morgan.
Oh, thank you all so much. Oh, I could
Thank you,
cry.
Tim and Jet, our mentors as well.
Oh my gosh.
For the amazing.
There you go, man.
And Faith. Oh, thank you all so much.
Startup.
Work, guys. Nice work.
That is
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
Thank
you
you,
all.
judges.
Thank you so much to everyone.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate it. You know, let everybody know CUNY's great. And thank you, audience, for being mentors and team. Thank you all. Congratulations. This was great fun. I really did enjoy it. So,
Thanks for the opportunity. These teams are wonderful to work with.
yeah, no, that was great. I mean, the mentors, Tim, you guys, Gail, really awesome. And also, I just want to shout out to Catherine, one of our mentors, who I think brought in 3 of our judges. She constantly brings in multiple judges into the squad and into the family here, and we really appreciate that. Really humbled by that. But congrats, everybody. Way to go. And we finished 6 minutes early. And everybody knows I love to finish early. I hate going and we were able to do it this time. So really, and your decks were outstanding, all of you. Really, your decks, really outstanding stuff. But really, this is awesome. All right, everyone. I'm going to end the event now, officially ending. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. There we go.
Good job.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
All right, Paul. Bye.